Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are from Group 1. We present three current issues regarding halal confectionery product in Malaysia, presented by me, Muhammad Luqman Abdul Halim. Second, Nur Habibah binti Azhar. Third, Sofiah binti Hayub. And last but not least, Nur Hajirah binti Hamid.
Introduction.
So first, we talk about introduction. Sugar or related sweeteners are the primary ingredient in confectionery items. The distinction between sweet food and sugar confectionery product is frequently made. Because of the sweet taste and ease of consumption, this sugary food is immensely popular among society, particularly among children, and the industry continues to grow swiftly to this day. Sugar confectionery and sweetened sugar, on the other hand, are sugary, sugar-based items that are typically consumed as a snack. Certain sweetener combinations also were utilized to improve the appearance of products, particularly in circumstances where visual attractiveness is a critical factor in attaining sales. That's all.
The current issues regarding halal confectionery products.
For your information, as stated by gelatin manufacturer of Europe, the edible gelatin is collected from pig skin is 80%, cattle hide split is 15%, and the remaining 5% comes from pig and cattle bones, chickens, and fish. This issue has raised the concerns among Muslim community as there are doubts in consuming these confectionery products whether the gelatin used comes from halal sources or non-halal sources. Thus, there is not really halal issues related regarding gelatin that derive from plant sources. However, the issues that we need to be emphasized is gelatin that are from haram and dubious animal origin, and not to forget that the slaughtering of halal animal process in line with Sharia ways we need to be emphasized too. One of the reasons why artificial colorants can affect health because it derives from coal or petroleum and non-purified chemical in sweet preparations. Apart from that, the artificial food coloring can also affect the health of consumers, especially to the children. According to the Food Standards Agency of the United Kingdom in 2007, eating food containing artificial food coloring can cause hyperactivity in children like irritability and depression. Not only that, allergies, kidney damage, abdominal pain, nausea, and cancer occur as side effects due to prolonged use of artificial food colorants. From the above statement, it can be seen that how dangerous it can be to the consumers, especially to the children, by using the artificial food colorants, and to make it worse, it may possibly lead to the death. Why? Because children have the lower body immune system compared to the adults, thus it easy to lead to the various of sickness. The last issue that I'm going to explain is the uncertainty ingredients in pastry and bakery products. Muslims base their decisions on the ingredient listed on food labels, which could imply whether or not a certain food ingredient or certain food product is permissible for Muslim consumption. Most ingredients and additives used in bakery and pastry industry are processed food components which raise the uncertainty on their halal status. So this is what we concern about it. The main problem is difficulty in determining the halal status of ingredients when they are no longer in their original forms, which make it become ambiguous ingredients. Not only that, JAKIM acts as halal authority in Malaysia. However, the application of halal logo is voluntary and not compulsory for manufacturers to apply it. This decision or this choice has resulted various issues including loopholes in the overall or total halal food production system, as a lot of products including ambiguous ingredients manage to escape the grasp of the system and never go through the proper halal verification process. As a result, lots of ingredients with unclear halal status are widely and commonly used in bakery and pastry products, which the primary consumers are Muslims. We know that commonly the Muslim customer assume that unverified ingredients were halal because they were marketed alongside with halal ingredients too.
Analysis of the issues regarding halal confectionery products.
So for the first issue, which is the usage of gelatin in sweet, as we know, there are certain guidelines and conditions that Islam put on marketer and seller that they need to follow before they can produce good or product. And one of it is the product must required by the Sharia of Islam, or in another word, it must be halal and permissible. So obviously, the first issue does not comply with the condition. So actually, what is the action that the manufacturer and the seller need to do to overcome or avoid this issue? First, if they are Muslim, obviously they need to search and choose only the trustworthy and Sharia compliant supplier to supply the critical ingredients. Why? Because the ingredients such as gelatin is very hard to be detected because it is colorless and odorless. So unless we really know the credibility of the supplier, there is no other way that we can know the status of the ingredient that they supply to us. Secondly, even if they are non-Muslim, they should declare the origin of the ingredient that they use, because there are also vegan people who does not consume meat product. So according to one of the principles of consumer right by the National Consumer Federation, every customer has the right to know and getting fact about the thing that they are going to purchase, and they need to be protected against dishonest and misleading advertising or labeling. So that's why the manufacturer need to put animal-based or plant-based label on the packaging material. So for the second and the third issue, I will refer to the theory made by Abdul regarding 5 critical factors in Islamic marketing. So among 5 factors that he mentioned, there is one factor that can be related to the second issue, which is conscious. Conscious means in Islamic marketing, we not only give weight to the Islamic law, but also emphasize the ethical dimension in producing and marketing goods. So the issue of excessive usage of artificial food coloring not only does not fulfill the concept of tayyib in Islam, but also break the ethical value of human in regarding food safety. So I will explain in both perspective, which is Islamic law perspective and also human law perspective. So according to Islamic law perspective, the concept of tayyib or can be defined as any product or things that reach a maximum level of hygiene, minimum level of contamination without any potential hazard and free from any ritual impurities. This means that even though the ingredient or the substance used in the process of in the making of the product is halal, but if the effect of using the product can cause harm to the human health, then it can also be considered as not halal. That is the issue. So and from the human law perspective, there is a section in Food Act Regulation 1983 that stated any person who prepares or sells food that is poisonous, damaging or detrimental to health can be considered as offence, and if convicted, they are liable to fine not exceeding 100,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years or both. Okay, in conclusion, the second issue not only break the Islamic law but also transgress the human law. So for the last issue, which is the uncertainty ingredients in pastry and bakery products, the critical factor of Islamic marketing that can be related to it is characteristic. Characteristic means that every Muslim product should have a distinctive features designed in line with Islamic value. This specifically refer to the halal logo. This means that every marketer and seller should consider to implement halal logo in all their product, because it not only help the Muslim consumer to differentiate between the halal and non-halal product, but also it can help the seller to boost their sale up to 400%. Okay, and secondly, the marketer and the seller should always segregate the product, the halal and non-halal product into different sections, because putting them in the same shelf can cause confusion and give false assurance to the Muslim consumer, especially for the Muslim tourists that come from another country. Because if they saw one product with halal logo on the shelf, they might consider that all the product on the shelf is halal, because they don't understand what is stated on the packaging label, because they don't understand our language. But actually this kind of issue is no longer a big problem, because nowadays JAKIM and other halal certification bodies had booked apps such as Verify Halal and My Halal to help ease the Muslim consumer. Even in non-halal countries such as Japan, they also had booked this kind of similar app to help to ease the Muslim consumer when they want to purchase their product. So based on the three issues, it is impossible to not talk about the importance of halal awareness among the consumer. This is because if the consumer have awareness and enough knowledge about halal and haram, those kind of issue can be avoided or reduced. This is because the consumer will avoid the trickery done by the seller, and they will also avoid buying products that fall into the grey zone. As stated in Hadith, فَمَنِ اتَّقَى الشُّبْهَةِ اسْتَبْرَأَ لِدِينِهِ وَعِرْضِهِ, which means that he who guards against doubtful thing keeps his religion and honor blameless. So that's why it is very important to have the awareness about halal and haram.
Ways to handle the issues regarding halal confectionery products.
Okay, ways to handle the issue regarding confectionery products. Improve current halal practices in food industries. It is important for the producer to know or learning the depth knowledge of halal to produce anything. The lack of understanding in this aspect actually bring the doubts to consumer, either to buy the products or not. The government or authorities should provide a full guidance for Muslim or non-Muslim entrepreneurs about the concept of halal, so that the food producer will no longer using the statement of halal guaranteed, pork free, and etc. openly. The encouragement should be given especially for small and medium-sized enterprise in applying the certification, so that they will no longer doubt in their products. As we know nowadays, most of SMEs still doesn't apply certified halal from JAKIM. The penalty or punishment should be given to premises which do not comply with halal standard. The full enforcement also given to JAKIM to have personal monitoring for every halal certification users, so that it will be easy for them to handle the issue immediately. Okay, next, be aware of fake or unrecognized halal logo. The various halal certification from other countries and fake halal logo in the market might lead to confusion to consumers, such as halal from Thailand, Korea, and etc. Most of Malaysians still have a confusion regarding halal certification logo from JAKIM. They still doesn't know the detail of certified halal logo. And not every halal certification are recognized by JAKIM for imported goods, because some of them have a different standard in halal. Recognized foreign halal certification logo from JAKIM can assist Muslim in purchasing product. By knowing this, it will be a great help to Malaysian Muslim. Every single impersonation of the halal logo, halal certificate, and misconduct product are restricted in regulation, and law also can be viewed as a punishable offense. So this is the logo of halal issued by JAKIM look like. The details that you have to pay attention are an 8-cup star at the center of a circle, the Arabic word halal at the center of the star, the word halal in the Roman alphabets below it, the word Malaysia written in Roman alphabets, and Malaysia in Arabic within the circle of the logo. Two small 5-cup stars are positioned to separate the Roman alphabet from the Arabic word mentioned. Okay, so for the last point is capitalize on the provision of public information. The cooperation between the government and the general public is needed, so that the information will be easier to spread to the public. They must have stages in improve the knowledge to the consumers and manufacturers so that the concept of halalan tayyiban can build the confidence among them. They will know how great the impact of applying halal and in the same time help the marketing of the product. The information can be shared through many platforms such as school programs so that the kids can know it in the early age, media like Instagram, Twitter, or maybe a campaign and any other platforms.
Conclusion.
So, the conclusion of this presentation is the finding obtained from the study found that awareness needs to be created in society to create halal and clean food market for consumer. Entrepreneurs also need to be sensitive and responsible in every product produced is in line with the standard and rule act. Lastly, the authority need to act and increase enforcement on these confectionery items because they are among the food that are focus of the Malaysia community. Authorities such as Jakim need to be more sensitive to the current issue and take swift action in resolving them so that they will not spread more widely and become difficult issue to resolve in the future. So that's all from us. Thank you.